Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Brindille Mini Pendant. This is the 186670. Lots of other Brindille fixtures around. There's sconces, there's also pendants, dining pendants. Check them all out if you can. Let's get into details on this. So let's talk about the size of the body of the fixture, and that's going to be the part with the glass and then the decorative pieces going up, independent of what's holding it. 21 inches high, 3.5 inches in diameter. Overall height, now we're talking about the distance from the bottom of the fixture, which is bottom of glass, to the actual ceiling. It's going to be adjustable using Hubbardton's rods that all interconnect basically. And that's going to give you a range of 34 at its shortest and 67 at its longest. If you guys are looking for longer than the long or shorter than the short, drop me a quick email and let me know what you're doing. Say, I'm looking at the 186670 and I need it to be X, and give me a solid number like 108 or something like that. And then I'm going to take your email, I'm going to shoot it over to Hubbardton Forge. It's going to go through the customs department and engineering. It's going to come back to me with information. Adds a little time, adds a little money, but we do customs all the time, so it's not a big deal. Okay, let's dive into how these go together. So you'll notice Hubbardton is now using all of these interlocking threading pieces. Oops, get over here, you. And they're going to be using a system of rods, basically, interconnecting rods. And you can see that you have little connectors that go between each rod, and they have threading on the ends. It's this little guy, and then there's threading on the insides of the pipes. This is going to come with two 12-inch pieces, these guys, one 6 and one 3-inch piece. And how you put these together is you get a couple towels, big fluffy towels, and put them on a counter. And then what you're going to be doing is, once you figure out which rods you need, you're going to lay them all out with the connectors in between it. The canopy you're going to put on the very end, that end. This end you're going to have the fixture body, no glass until the very end once you get it up. You're going to lay that out, and you're going to just slowly snake those wires through each of those pieces. So you're going to be going from the fixture body into a connector, into a pipe, into a connector, finally going to be exiting outside of this canopy. To show you more information on how we do this is we look at the installations instructions PDF, which is on the site now. If you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen, midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. So look at that for me. Open it up. It's going to show you how this hangs just on a normal junction box, a 4-inch J box. Canopy on the ceiling. This is 5.5 inches in diameter. It's going to beautifully go over this, so you're no problem at all. This is a very light fixture, so there's no weight restrictions. This is slope ceiling adaptable to 45 degrees already. You don't have to do any customization. So if you guys have a cathedral ceiling, you're good to go. So it just goes like that. Okay? Little knuckles built into the top. No problem there. Okay, so let's move on to what's inside of this. We'll talk about the glass really quick. I'll talk more about opal glass later in the video, but the glass on this is going to be Hubbardton Forge's opal glass, which is it's a kind of a milky white when it's off. When the light's coming through it, provided you have a nice warm light, it's going to warm that up quite a bit. And what is inside of this is going to be a G9 socket, and that's going to accept the prongs on the bottom of a G9 bulb, and they just snap right in just like that. You can go up to 60 watts for a halogen. That's because of the heat generated by a halogen bulb. So you can do halogens without a problem. It is a dimmable fixture regardless if you could use LEDs or halogen bulb. Just remember that. But when you get into LEDs, it's really up to you what you guys want to do. So let's talk about LEDs for a second. So the best thing to do to get a good eyeful of these things would be maybe go on Amazon and just up in the search bar, put in G9 LED, and up is going to pop all of these guys, lots and lots of different ones. So, and it's a little mind-boggling at first, but in reality it's pretty easy. So the ones that have these yellow strips in them, these orange-yellow strips, these are phosphorus ones, and these guys that look like corn cobs are called cob. How funny is that? So there's no right or wrong. It's really just you want to look at the other things associated with this too. So a couple things are going to be wattage equivalence. So we know that for a halogen, you're doing a 60-watt halogen, so that locks you into that size, right? When you get into LEDs, the piece of glass is big enough, though, so whatever you find out there is what you can use. It's totally up to you as far as G9 LEDs go. You're going to find a lot of these are going to be at 40-watt equivalent. This big guy is a 75-watt equivalent. I got this on Amazon, and we actually use these in our showroom all over the place. So don't be afraid to experiment with these things a little bit. I always talk about the color of the light coming out of LEDs. That's going to be super important to how happy you are with this. 2700 Kelvin is kind of like an incandescent bulb that you dim down like the setting sun. There's not a lot of those around anymore. That's kind of getting phased out, because how it kind of works is the more lumens you get out of something, it has to be, the whiter it can be. When you get into these pale yellow colors coming out of LEDs, you get less lumens coming out of it, less light coming out of it. The norm actually for warm white is 3000 Kelvin. That's what we use. That's what this guy is, okay? And the light coming down on my hands right here from above, that's 3000 Kelvin. And that's what we like in our showroom. This looks like an incandescent bulb. People think this is the older incandescents. They don't even realize it's an LED. So that's something you really want to get into. If you're looking out there and it says daylight, be really careful. You think daylight's the setting sun. It's not. Daylight is a blue light like a hospital waiting room. So just remember, that's 4000, 5000 Kelvin. What you really want to zero in on would probably be something more like this, and like a 75 watt equivalent LED that's dimmable, and 3000 Kelvin. That's what you want. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's opal glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the ends. You can see them on these two pieces. And it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really, really pretty. You know, they're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variance on there in that video. So it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton Forge fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same, and so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton Forge stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with. Measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes. Widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables, islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads lying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff, for clearance stuff, are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. It'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case, so always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.